Yeah, buddy!
Yeah, buddy!
Hello, Richard.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I am fantastic and I am doing really well.
It's so good to see you at 3:05, just outside of Toronto time. I imagine is it 8:05 where you are or 9:05?
It's 8:05. I am 5 hours ahead of you.
8:05 in the UK. So it's so good to see you. It's good to have you back and have everybody here with us. This is pretty exciting, actually. Vanille,
Yes.
Havane, Coeur, the oud we have today.
Core dude. Blimey.
How's the hype been? How's the been like? It's been out now for it's been out now for a couple weeks, couple months. The news, the information that's been flowing. How's been kind of the feedback for this? Do you know?
I would say not as high as other perfume releases from them. I think this has been, the hype hasn't been huge. It was probably the first time they've tried to get some hype, like actively tried to generate some themselves. And it kind of feels like that hasn't necessarily paid off.
I know the original got a ton of love, right? It's very widely loved and well deserved too. I imagine with a little bit of time, this one will catch on too. Maybe
it's possible. I think it's got some hurdles in its way. Some self-inflicted problems that it's gonna have to overcome as far as hype is concerned. There's reasons for it. We can go into them if you want, but I think people like maybe me and you are excited because I'm a huge fan of the brand. I think they're fantastic. I love them, and I think that was that Vanille Havane.
Yeah, same here. I'm a big fan of the brand, the people behind the perfumes, everything. You know.
Yeah, I think that members of the general public may feel a little excluded because of the price, because of the limited availability. It's kind of there with price wise. It's cheaper than The Night by Frederick Malle, but it's also much less accessible. You know, so it's going up against some stiff competition, and it's in a difficult place.
Who would you say it's competing? Like, do you think it has any direct competition? This perfume?
The Night by Frederick Malle. I would say like The Night by Frederick Malle. Maybe that. Maybe one of their LVs. Apparently, Ombre. No, someone was saying Nuit de Feu is being discontinued.
Okay.
So it might, and there's that one from Strange Love, The Night, not The Night, the Strange Love one. I can't remember which one it is. Is it Fall into Stars or something?
Yeah.
So
I think that's some pretty good company to be being compared to. You know, to compare
it to
The Night it's a pretty good company to be around, and I can understand how people don't want to pay like an exorbitant amount of money because, you know, especially in the times that we're in now. But that's probably why it's like such a limited release, because they realized that too and made something for their true fans. That's what it feels like to me, like true lovers of Vanille Havane with a twist of oud, because oud is quite big right now, right?
Oud's become a genre of perfume all of its own. You know, like you've got like ambers / orientals, you've got chypres, fougères, and I would say you've got like ouds as well. Like ouds become an extension of that now. It's its own separate category. You've got straight up ouds. Um, you've got like flankers with oud. You've got um, you've got brands doing cross-breeding sort of things, you know, like Ensar Oud will collaborate with a brand, provide the oud and stuff like that, and let them use his name. So the oud things it's big. It's big out there, you know.
Right. Yeah. There's lots of oud out there. But have you been able to sample the oud that's gone into this? I got a sample of the oud. This is I guess this is an extraction of the oud mixed with probably some alcohol. So a little bit not pure, but just an example of the oud. Have you
Yes,
been able to smell this?
Yeah, Brooke from Saint-Celier sent me a tiny little thing which I've actually forwarded on to Houdini.
Yeah.
And I wish I hadn't, because I had it. You know what I mean? I could have sat and gone through it in real time, but I do know what it smells like. And I do know the profile, and I was surprised at how that profile refers to the actual ingredient itself.
Yeah. So I got to say thanks to Remy and Valerie for sending me a sample of this. I know usually they send out these 7 ml samples of new releases. They didn't of Vanille Havane. They didn't send one to me either. I had to ask. I asked Antoine to send me one. That's how I got this. You know what I mean? So, yeah, thank you to them for trying this. So I got a sample of just the pure oud on, you know, not the Vanille Havane perfume, just the oud. And this is what type? This is
Cambodian
oud. So
yes,
you tried this?
Absolutely, I have.
How did you find it?
Cheesy.
Yeah,
I found it quite not animalic, but like cheesy and oudy, and much more like your typical oud that you smell in like some Middle Eastern perfumes, and much more. To me, it was very different from what ended up in the perfume and the way it behaves in the perfume. You know, it had some fermentation going on. It had some cheese. You know, there was a bit of like,
a little bit barnyard, a little bit blue cheesy, balsamic, a little bit dirty, just like oud is. You know, it smells like oud, like what I know oud to smell like. Like the closest thing that this reminds me of would be The Night by Frederick Mull, which is cheesy, barnyardy, smoky, animalic, dirty, you know. Hoof. Very
it's full, definitely got hoof
and pungent, right?
Yeah, it's got it's got fermented kind of cheesy woody smoke kind of thing going on, like you've set fire to a block of cheese, you know, on some wood, you know, or you've grated your cheese on some wood, on the bark of some wood, and then set fire to it.
Yeah,
it's an angry boy.
Quite cheesy. So how does it show up in the perfume?
So for me, in the perfume, right, it doesn't have any of that animalic kind of aspect to it. For me, it's got a charred wood kind of vibe. It's smoky. It's very dark. It's a little sweet. But that could be the actual Vanille Havane itself. It's obviously really well blended. It fits in there. It's very coherent with the rest of the perfume.
That's my favorite part, is the blend, the structure, like the technical part of the perfume. I love the technicalities of it. of how it develops, how it shows up, how it unfolds. Almost it starts off, it's a very interesting perfume. Like, to describe it, in one sense, it's a very powerful perfume, but it has this softness to it. So it's kind of like an oxymoron, right? There are times
Yeah,
where it disappears, but I know it's still present with me. It's got this purr to it.
yeah.
Does it feel like
It's
that to
got
you as well?
it's got warmth, but it's got sweetness too.
Right.
It's not as sweet. So I've got the original. I've got all three Vanille Havanes in front of you. I'm a huge fan of that actual perfume.
Mm.
Um, I've got my Coeur d'Oud. I've got my Extrait Absolu, and I have my Vanille Havane. Although the VA has come off, so it just says Nil Havane.
Your pH balance might be too high, man.
Yeah,
You might too
that's
much
right. Aye.
acid on your skin.
Yes. So that VA has come off, but I still know what it is, and it's it's got. So if I compare the two, have I got sticks? I need to get a stick, a scent strip, and I need to spray my.
I find the oud much drier than the original. The original is sweeter, and they both feel like they have a lot of the same similarities. I'm not sure if they've added too much or taken too much out, but the biggest difference to me is like the dryness. It's drier. The original is more sweet, and this one is more dry.
So for me, the original's so much more boozy. It's
Boozy, yeah.
so boozy. It's got that sweet, boozy Christmas cake. Do you know, like
Rum,
the
raisin,
dates?
yeah,
Yeah.
fullness. It kind of
It,
opens up like that. It's like it's got this big hum, right? The introduction is kind of that boom, 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 boom. It's that rum, boom, 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 raisin, and then the chorus behind starts kicking in, and then you got this
yes.
tobacco, boom, 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 boom. The vanilla, boom, 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 boom. It's got this big rhythm, right? It's got this beautiful balance. It's got harmony, right? It's got this
Yeah.
beautiful harmony.
Yeah.
And
It's very,
and then
it's
it,
very,
on me, it turns into like this powder bomb, and I love that. Like, just
I don't
there's
get powder from it. I don't get powder from it.
you don't get powder from Vanilla Man,
No, no.
really.
It's been a while since I've worn it, to be fair. I'm
I love
wearing
powders, like those old vintage powders, like fruity powders, the vanilla powders, face powders. You don't get those?
not at the minute, no. But like I say, I haven't worn it for a while.
To me, it's
Um,
super powdery and resinous, smoky. Um, yeah, I
I don't
love it.
get much smoke. I don't get much smoke from this.
Really.
I don't get much smoke from this. I get more wet. I get more wet
It is wet.
tobacco.
It's also very
Yeah.
dark. There is a very dark perfume.
And it's got dark chocolate in
Chocolatey,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cocoa.
it's very dark chocolatey, and that kind of chocolate kind of aspect is what, for me, patchouli chocolate kind of vibe is what marries the oud to the Vanille Havane, like the rest of the perfume. It's what does like
Yeah. Very chocolatey. Very
the
chocolatey.
translation.
Very
Yeah, it
rum and
does the
boozy. Yeah. The spices are there. The it's just there's so much depth, you can't see you can't see through it, like the depth of the perfume. And that's one of my favorite parts as well.
yeah. It's like looking down into like
It's
a
like being with a good friend, like an old friend, like a soulful, spirited friend that keeps you engaged in conversation and satiated at the same time. There's
yes, it's
times where it gets
rich.
quiet and I feel like it's just maybe it's left the room to go for a smoke or something, but I know it'll be back really quick. That's what it feels
Yes,
like.
yes. It's coming back.
Yeah,
Give
it'll
me a
come back.
sec. Oh, I wore this today, but I want a
Like it's
fresh
big.
spray.
It's big, but it's soft. It has a softness to it.
Oh, it's massive. It's such a huge perfume. It's such a huge perfume. The both are, to be fair. The oud, I think, is a bit quieter, strangely. I don't think the oud makes it a bigger perfume. I
I
think
think
the
they're both.
oud
I
kind of.
think both of them have a quietness to them. I think even the original has a quietness to them, like
Oof,
like a quiet church.
a quiet church. I don't get any incense from it.
And you don't get that ambery incense in the dry down, like that churchy, golden, nutty brown resins.
I get resins.
I get
Um,
golden brown ambers, like really delicious embers too.
Yeah, like that's what I get from the oud especially. I get like, do you know when you've had a fire and you've had to put it out, but the log isn't fully burned and it's got that cracked, charred pattern on it. It looks like hexagons or octagons and stuff. It's got that kind of it's burned, it's still got its log shape, so it's
Charred.
not complete. Yeah, it's a charred wood kind of thing, but not dry. You know, it's not dry at all. It's
It's
very
wet.
chocolatey.
Yeah. The original is more wet.
Yeah, it's definitely wetter. It's definitely more like soaked Christmas cake. Like it's been left to like soak in rum.
I'm gonna put on a little bit of the oud, Coeur de oud.
Couradoud.
It does feel like a lot of the sweetness has dissipated and a lot of the more warmer, ambery, smokier notes from the oud are coming in. Like I can sense a touch of that cheese and that barnyard, but I mean the perfume is really thick and that gets covered up. So I don't know, it really helps me knowing what it smells like by having this, right? So I
Yeah,
can visually like scan and seek and I can find it, but without the sample, without knowing before, I don't know if I would have been able to find those because they're very soft, right? They're soft. They're cottony. When you smell, let's say Tom Ford's tobacco vanille, right?
yes.
I love it. It's very beautiful tobacco vanille, but that to me feels more like polyester wearing like a polyester suit that's like too tight or something. But this to me feels more cottony, softer.
Yes, this is it. So the original has dried down a lot drier, if that makes sense. It's a lot drier now, and I'm getting a lot more of the vanilla. I'm not getting powder, but
Powder
I'm
comes deep
getting
in the dry down. It gets super powdery on me.
yeah. I'm smelling the original on stick, so I'm experiencing it differently from what you are. Like I say, I haven't worn that one for a while. I usually wear that in the winter. When do you wear the Havane?
Fall. I
You
think this
just
is the
wear your
perfect season now. Fall.
yeah.
Fall to, let's say, right just past Christmas. I think it's a perfect Christmas perfume too, actually. There it's so
Yes.
it's so jovial. I find it really jovial and spirited. Um
Yeah.
yeah, like when I wear it, my spirits are lifted. That's what it
Yeah.
feels. It is kind of Christmas. That is that cinnamon, that cinnamon and chocolate and cacao, right? It's a big perfume.
Yeah. Have you got Araby?
I know what Arabi smells like.
Yeah. It's got aspects of that, but it's not quite luminous like
Yeah,
Araby is. Araby's a
Arabi
lot
has
more.
those dry fruits and cutting spices. Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite bold in its outrageousness. You know. It's Araby's quite. How can I put it? I don't know. It's quite in your face. It's very full on. Whereas I think this is a lot more soft and
Arabi has
gentle.
that cutting sweetness.
Yes.
Really sharp, sweet, dry fruit, like candied fruit.
Candied fruit. Yes. I sold my Araby actually.
Too sweet?
Yeah, I just couldn't. I wasn't wearing it, and there was somebody who like wanted it, so I was like, okay, you know what I mean. Sold a lot of perfumes recently. Um, I've bought a few, but I must have for every perfume I've bought, I've sold 10. Do you know what I mean? I've sold quite a lot of perfumes. Um,
What do you
see what
think?
the
What do you think
sorry,
of parfum? What's in the middle there? The pure
the
parfum?
extra absolute. It's
How does
I
that
actually
differ?
God, this is amazing. This is amazing. This is the chocolate. The chocolate in this really, really is like the biggest part of it. It's amazing, and it's so thick and rich and gloopy. I mean, there's absolutely almost zero projection. You basically can't smell it when you wear it. But if you are just like, if you're going to be with someone, you know,
Yeah,
like if you're going to be with someone, this is like the
it's
perfect version of where it's gorgeous.
it's a very intimate perfume, isn't it? Vanille Havane.
Yes, this is beautiful. Let me roll this on
It's intimate
to a
and
stick.
flirty. I find it quite flirty the way it plays.
Oh, it's got that sweet. It's got that sweet. Let me throw that in the bin because it's been used. Oh, all right.
And it's
Let
got a
me.
taste of 3 different cultures, right? You have a taste of Cambodian in there, you have a taste of Cuba, and it still kind of retains its Frenchness,
Yes, it's definitely got
even
its.
though it's like a Middle Eastern take on perfume. I find the oud still quite French. You know, it still holds on to that Frenchness.
That's
I still
Antoine. That's Antoine's job. That's what he's done. You know,
yeah,
for a long time. For a long time, I wanted a French perfumer to make a oud or take those materials and make a French perfume. Um, and that's what this is to me. This is a French perfume with oud, whereas I think
yeah,
the night is like a Middle
exactly,
Eastern kind of perfume. You
exactly.
know?
I find all Frederick Mall's ouds to be very Middle East. They lose their French touch to them.
Yeah.
The
Whereas if
night,
you can,
promise, moon, dawn.
have you
Um,
smelled Hope?
I've not smelled hope yet.
It's fucking hopeless. Oh, it's so bad.
I've not been able to try it, no.
Excuse me. Good grief. What is wrong? So I've got the X-ray on, and it's like a wet. It's like a wet, thick. It's like a wet, thick, melted dark chocolate, um,
Melted,
with
yeah.
with some booze. To me, the vanilla is actually quite suppressed in this. It's
Okay.
not. It's not. I don't get huge amounts of vanilla, not in the same way that I do in the original. Um, in this, I get much more of like that. I get much more of that boozy aspect, and I get much more. I get much more like. I get much more of that. Do you know when you bite into a dried fruit and it's still got some goo going on in the middle? There's still a little bit of moisture in the middle, like a raisin.
Yeah,
You bite into it. It's
prune,
dry on the outside, and then you bite into it, and it's still gooey in the middle, and
right.
you get all of that explosion
Yeah, the
of
softness,
yeah. It's so
deliciousness. Flavor, very flavorful.
it's very, very, very intense. You
Yeah,
were saying before that it's deep and you can look down into it and stuff like that. That's what this is. This is probably the most intense of the three.
the extrait.
Wow. It's like it's making the back of my throat tingle. It's very, very, very rich, that one. Whereas,
It's crazy, like the power and like yeah, the power of it, but still, I don't know. For me, it still retains this softness, this delicateness. Not really delicate. It does have some heft to it, right? It is a hefty perfume. It's not delicate at all, but it's soft. It's almost like a cat,
yeah,
kind of like a cat, like purring up against you.
but a big cat,
Yeah, a bigger
like a
cat. Yeah,
like a tiger.
tiger. Yeah, it does have a big purr when you compare it to, let's say, Vanille Havane or some of the other tobacco vanillas. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Tobacco Vanille was kind of the first to kind of do that, but everything else that came after put like their own different spin. And I think the spin that this is the quality of ingredients, the materials, and that animalic purr.
I get this. I get from the oud when you go from the X-ray to the oud. That's a huge difference. Excuse me, well, what's wrong? Oh, what is wrong? Um, there's there is this smokiness. It's much smokier. This is like do you know how it's supposed to have like that cigar kind of thing going on?
Hmm.
This is kind of like a lit cigar, you
Hmm.
know, like whereas Vinny Havana is kind of like a you're sitting somewhere in Havana pre lighting up, you know. But this one's definitely lit cigar. You've probably even smoked half of it, so there's like smoke on your clothes, there's smoke in your mouth, smoke in your hair.
Tobacco, yeah, tobacco. A really fine cigar.
Yeah, it's got that. Like I don't even know how you begin to do this, you know.
Who do you see smoking this cigar?
Um, I don't know. Do you know pre Castro? Pre Castro Cuba. So there were like tourists there. There are like people in brightly coloured suits with Panama hats.
Hmm.
Um, someone maybe South American, but not someone South American, but not Cuban. Um, so like a tourist, but somebody very rich, wealthy. Maybe he's into gambling.
Somebody passing by.
Yeah, sitting down and watching the world go by in like some cafe or something like that. Pre revolution Cuba. It's
Do you find it masculine or feminine?
which one?
Either. Do you see any
So
kind of gender there?
I think the oud is more masculine because of that smoky kind of vibe, that smoky kind of thing, that that burning fire kind of thing. Whereas I think the original is a lot more gentle. It's deep. It's rich. Um, it's sweet. I actually think it's really unisex, especially the original one, um, because of that
Oh, you
kind
cut
of
out there.
sweetness. Sorry.
You cut out there for a second.
Oh no, am I still here? Am I here now?
Yeah, yeah, you're here.
Okay. Sorry, I was just going to say that this is now like Vanille Havana, the original one's becoming a lot drier. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of like I don't want to say churning, but there's a lot of like round and round and round going on. You
So
know.
much cacao. Holy smokes. It's so chocolatey. Chocolate and rum and raisin.
Do you get patchouli in it?
Boom, 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 boom. Patchouli? Yeah, there's got to be patchouli in here. Patchouli and labdanum. I get a lot of labdanum, like leathery notes.
Yeah, like but very,
But it's got this
very,
huge
very
chorus
particular.
to it.
Yes, there's a lot going on. There's definitely a lot going on. It's very busy.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's very, very busy. And this is the original I'm smelling again. It's so much more. It's much more.
Do you remember like God, I think it was like the 80s. I was just a kid. I don't even know if you were born back then. But it was like there was a commercial on it was a Coke commercial. It was like probably one of the best corporate commercials I've ever seen on television. Something that was like uplifting and spirited. And it was that you remember that commercial I'd like to teach the world to sing or something
Yes.
something like that I'd like to or buy I'd like to buy the world some harmony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be like one person starting the song and then
Yes.
after like they would sing the chorus and then there would be like this whole other group of people behind them come in and come along with them, right? So you would get these different you would get these different effects, like different instruments almost, right? Just like a song starts, you have just the singer, and then you have the instruments, and then you have the vocals and this backup. That's what this feels like. It feels very harmonious in that way.
Yeah.
That's what I think of. And also, you know, the way that commercial made me feel like very spirited and uplifting. That's how I feel when I wear this. Very light.
I feel like this is an oversized jumper. Do you know,
Oh,
like a sweater, like an oversized woolly sweater? I get that vibe from it. Like all three of them, they're very cozy. They're very padded. You know, there's a lot going on. Like it's a very like voluptuous kind of perfume. There's a lot of it, and it's
yeah.
very comforting.
Yeah. Kind of kind of like a riff on Shalimar, like Shalimar's older sister, eh?
Ooh,
That's out in Cuba now smoking a cigar. You know, Shalimar was that love story. I don't know how Shalimar feels like a younger Shalimar that just got married. You know, Shalimar was a love story, right?
okay.
Maybe
I
like
thought it was Mitsuko.
well, Mitsuko was a love story as well.
Ah,
Mitsuko to me feels more like a scandal than a love story. You know what I mean?
okay, yes,
This woman waiting for on two lovers. What the hell is that? But
yes,
anyway, this kind of, you know, it does have that Shalimar-esque to it, that powderiness. That's what I find, but it doesn't necessarily smell like Shalimar, you know.
yeah. It's got like a vibe.
Yeah, it's got that vibe, like that older, more accomplished sister that's now out in Cuba, probably divorced. You know, Shalimar was young and in love, and she's lived this life. This one's out now in Cuba, just enjoying her life, wiser, just enjoying her life. That's what it feels like. It has
Yeah,
that Shalimar thing going on, like a sexier Shalimar, you know, like an older Shalimar.
yeah, yeah. It's got like do you know, like in Shalimar, it's got that kind of rich, kind of thick, grippy, kind of labdanum. Like it's not like a goo, but it's like halfway between. It's halfway between a solid and a liquid. It's very viscous. It's thick. You know, it's like treacle, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It's got that. I kind of feel like to be honest with you, the oud's growing on us. When I first smelled it, I was like, this is Vanille Havane with
It's
an oud.
growing. Oh, you're not a fan of the oud. I thought you were a fan of the oud.
No, I am a fan. I'm saying it's growing on us. Like I'm enjoying it more and more and more.
Yeah.
You know?
You know,
That,
I got to be honest, like I didn't know if I was going to like it. And when I got it, when I got the sample, I was like, okay. It was really soft and I don't know. But it wasn't until like the second or third time I wore it was like, wow, this is really like this is just as nice as the original, you know?
yeah, it's different. It's
It's
very well.
different, yeah.
I feel like excuse me. I feel like Antoine's done a lot of perfumery. You know what I mean? He's done a lot of his job to get this to work.
Yeah.
Like the material, the way they're fractionating it and stuff like that, and what he's been given and what his goal was, and how he inserts that into another perfume. What do you think that they should have made a standalone oud perfume instead of making a flanker of Vanille Havane?
I mean, that's a good point too. No, I think this worked out really well. I
Yeah,
don't know what like the alternative would have been. So I think this worked for them.
yeah.
You
I
know,
think it's where I think it's I think I would have, if I'd had a choice before I'd smelled this, right? If I'd had a choice before I'd smelled this, I would have said, make a standalone oud fragrance. Don't make a Vanille Havane oud. Don't make a Rose de Jamal oud.
right.
Don't make a Mousse de Sable oud. But I think this has worked. I would have liked to have smelled some of the other things that they tried before they settled on this,
Right.
just to see like where they went, just to see like,
The
if they tried
ideas.
like an Oriental Valeurs oud, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Because it would have been so strange. But I don't think it would have sold, and I think this gave them the best chance of selling the
Make it work for
product
everybody.
itself. Yeah. I also think that, well, I know they've got like 100 stockists around the world, or I think that's what Remy said. He's in 100 places, or he's in quite a lot of places,
Right.
And I'm interested to see where this shifts the quickest and who, like, what sort of demographic buys it.
I think it'll be
Um,
I think it's going to be people like us, people that are in this space that love perfume.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
I think it's, yeah.
are you meaning like will it take a big hit in the Middle East?
Yeah, I was thinking this would go down quite well in the Middle East. It's got that whole French perfumery thing, but then it's got what's familiar to them, which is an oud. You know, if you
Hmm.
look at it, about 10 years ago, everyone and their mother was releasing an oud perfume to try and crack the Middle East. You know, you had Leather Oud by Dior. There was Oud Ispazan, also Ispazan, Oud Isfahan by Dior as well. There was, but Ralph Lauren was doing fake ouds. Um,
Yeah.
all of these brands, every brand was doing an oud. You had Cartier doing an oud. Eventually, Hermes even came around to doing an oud. I smelled Oud Alazan today for the first time,
What are your
um,
thoughts?
but I thought it was bland. I thought it was
Oh, really?
plain. I need to try it more. I need to spend more time with it. It was literally just a first impression. Um, there was actually the lady who was on the counter today. She wasn't a perfume saleswoman. She was a makeup artist, but she was covering for the Hermes counter, and she was like, my perfume's just something I get from one of those stalls that like where they'll just make up a perfume for you. They've got a few oils, they'll make up one for you on the spot, and they'll give you like a roll on.
For
And she
12
was like,
bucks, right?
she was like, I loved ombre leather. And she was like, I got them to like make basically ombre leather, but like make it more feminine. And she was like, here, have a smell. And I was like, oh my God, what is this going to smell like? Honestly, it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. I was mortified that I liked it. I was shocked. I was very disappointed in
Really, eh?
myself. I was like, wow, this is really good. I was like, fucking
Did,
hell.
did,
It
did
had
she say how
that,
much
it
it
had
cost?
that, sorry?
Did she say the cost?
I think it was like 10 quid.
Oh shit.
It was like 10 quid. Honestly, that's what it was. Because it was just like a little 10 mil roller. It was like one
Yeah.
of these. It was
Okay.
just one of these, and she
Right.
was like, smell it. She was like, it's nice, isn't it? I was like, I swear, I'm not just saying this. It's actually it's
Yeah.
great.
That's
I
wild, eh?
was, I was shocked. It was like, can you imagine Tuscan leather without? Can you imagine Tuscan leather without the raspberry, without the ash, right? But with that leather note, but toned right back, and then a little bit of amber, right? And I mean a little bit, just to soften it out, and then just some generic florals, and that was it. That was it. And I was like, this smells great. How hot was she? She was all right. I'm not going to lie to you. She had big front and big back, right? there was a lot There was a lot going on.
Your two favorite parts.
That's right. Yes. There was something for everyone. And did she quack? I could have made it quack, I reckon. But it was good. It was good stuff. It was good. It was genuinely good stuff. I was like, fuck. It wasn't like high perfume.
Flapping your wings.
I was. I stood up. I was like, wings, and I did a flap.
There you go.
I was going to do the peacock feather thing, but I decided not to.
There you go.
It was pretty good. It was. I was surprised by what it did for us. But there we are. I was going to ask her to smell this because I was wearing the Coeur today, but she was like, I'm not really into fragrances that much. She was like, I'm a makeup artist. I was like, all right. I was like, don't try and do me makeup. You know what I mean? I was like,
do you have any other favorite tobacco vanilla perfumes?
I don't like tobacco vanille. Never owned tobacco vanille. Didn't like it.
Okay. How about let's say Coeur Maresque? That's not really vanilla. It's got a bit of vanilla. It's a tobacco. Not Coeur Maresque. No. Sorry, Fumerie Turk. Serge Luton.
Fumerie Turk. I had that and I sold it. There was something about that made me feel nauseous. It was too much of the. It was too much of it. There was something in it. The sweetness was too rich. It was sickly. I did not like that at all.
That's how I feel about Coeur Maresque. I get sick when I wear Coeur Maresque, but I love Fumerie Turk.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Fumerie Turk's like I don't know how old Fumerie Turk is. Do we know the age of it? Let us have a look on the.
You know what else I get? Do you get honey, Rich, in Vanille Havane? I feel like I get some sort of honey, and I don't know if it's a texture.
Yes. In the original one, I do. I get. Say, Fumerie Turk was released 3 years before. Fumerie Turk was released 3 years before, 3 or 4 years before Tobacco Vanille. It's Christopher Sheldrake again, you see.
Suede-y. This has got a big leather in it as well.
A big leather.
Very suede-y.
What, in Tobacco Vanille? In Vanille Havane?
No, Fumerie Turk.
I'm not a fan of Fumerie Turk at all. I had to sell mine. I was glad when it went. I've got my Coeur Maresque as well. I've got Coeur Maresque right here. I've actually got an original bottle of Coeur Maresque.
I can't wear Coeur Maresque.
I like Coeur Maresque, but I've got other leathers that I prefer. It's a big IBQ type perfume. It's very much like Derby, but much more intense on the spices. Much more kind of. Oh, you've got the same bottle. Look at that.
It's really harsh, eh?
It's very. I feel
like I'm smelling
gritty.
Open a can of paint or something. Oh
yeah, it's awful. Got pent up. Yeah, it's pent up kind of. Yeah, it's got that kind of pent up.
This is angry, angry,
vicious.
Angry. Ugh.
Have you read the? Have you read the blurb?
I feel this way. Pearly says Coeur Maresque makes me feel ill. I feel the same way.
Outrageous.
So waxy. Yeah, Fumerie Turk is challenging but wearable too. Yeah, Fumerie Turk to me is great. Let's say around Thanksgiving. Right around the fall season, when sweater season. About the same as Vanille Havane.
Do you think that Le de Desert Marocain has something in common with Coeur Maresque?
It's Le de Desert Marocain is so incensey to me. It's all about smoke, resin, and incense.
Balsam. It's got lift. to it. It's got air about it, It's got that, how it's leather desert market. It's got the air. To me, this has got air, whereas Coeur Maresque has got no air at all.
It's restricted,
Yeah, it feels like, I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like you're being choked with a leather belt, like an old leather belt,
And being drowned. Somebody's choking you and drowning you at the same time. And they've got their foot on your head, like pushing you into the water even deeper.
A repressive perfume. It's very strong. I've got my Derby up here. Hold on, I've got a Derby up here. Got a little 30ml number.
MKK is the best surge. Coeur Maresque is fantastic. Lots of opinions on Serge Luton's here. Coeur Maresque is like a super harsh version of Coeur Canage. Coeur Canage is great compared to Coeur Maresque.
Yeah, I love Coeur Canage. I absolutely love Coeur Canage. It's gorgeous.
Coeur Canage is gorgeous. And it feels like it is a riff on Coeur Maresque as well, but just so much better done.
Yes, it's definitely got that same chemical that's in both of those perfumes, giving the leather aspect, like the leather aspect is provided by the same kind of.
Pearly, are you talking about Coeur Maresque and Fumerie Turk? There are similarities, aren't there? But I can wear Fumerie Turk. Coeur Maresque get it far, far, far away from me.
So there's Jasmine in Vanille Havane.
Jasmine in the Vanille Havane?
Jasmine in Vanille Havane.
Wait.
Not the oud.
There's Jasmine in the Vanille Havane.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm looking at the Les Indemodables website. I've got it right here.
I know that.
Oh, I can't say that. Here you go.
That's interesting.
0.3% jasmine from Egypt. Concentrate concrete distillate. I imagine that's quite pure, like a high purity cocoa from Colombia. Ultrasound extract Grand Cru 3.1%, and then the vanilla is Mauvais Comoros Infusion Grand Cru 9.1%.
The cocoa is grand.
The cocoa's lovely in it. The cocoa's absolutely brilliant, to be fair. Oh,
what's happening, Zhao? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here.
How is Zhao? How now, Zhao? How are you doing? Has Zhao got the oud?
Zhao, did you get the Vanille Havane or the oud? I think he might have. He got something big recently.
It's always getting good stuff. He's been putting out some videos recently.
How have you been doing lately?
How have I been doing recently?
Yeah.
Last week was not a great week. Really struggling last week, but I feel a lot better this week, actually. I think last week was just one of them weeks, to be honest. And then this week I went to see a physio who basically for 2 hours gave us an education and sent us away with three exercises to do, which will hopefully de-stimulate my sciatic nerve to the point where I won't have as much sciatica, So he's given us some exercises that will.
Can they just take your sciatic nerve out?
Oh no! It supplies literally all the feeling in your leg.
Maybe you get rid of the pain.
Maybe I'll tell you what, there have been times where I've been like, just chop the fucker off. Do you know what I mean? Just take it. Fuck it, I don't care. Get rid of it.
Take it and go.
Just take it, burn it, do whatever you want, tincture it turn it into some kind of crazy ood, you know, like it's like chicken, like drumstick, turkey drumstick, duck drumstick.
There you go. I'll take
Kind
a
of
piece.
grim. You would have a piece. How have you?
Good, doing great. Just living, living and enjoying and being present.
Yes.
Just
I
trying to
heard you say.
enjoy
I
working
heard you
out,
say the other
exercising a
day.
lot.
I heard you say the other day that you'd basically finished one of your perfumes.
Yeah. Working with Antoine. We're close. One is done. I love, obsessed with one. Can't wait for you guys all to smell it. I feel like I think it's really, really, really special, and yeah, it's exciting. A little bit
Yeah.
challenging, there were some challenging times where it was a little bit frustrating. It took a little, but that's okay. That all passes, right? That all passes. But um, yeah, I think you know what I feel. I feel like I got the best out of Antoine. I really feel like I challenged him and pushed him into like this, just like this uncomfort zone, which was good for both of us. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. That's good. I
Yeah,
like that.
a little bit of change, something
So,
new and exciting. That's what it feels like, new and exciting.
do you think that it fits in with the rest of the line, or it's an outlier, it's different, it's new, it takes the brand in a different direction?
Well, it smells completely different than everything else, but I think it's ultimately like the vision is aligned, the it's got heart, it's got soul, it's got everything that all the other three perfumes have. So it's going to fit in really nicely in the collection.
Excellent. How did you come up with the inspiration for it? Because the other three had like a story. Was this like a continuation, or is that like
Yeah,
different? Is
it
this
is. It
like
is a little bit of a continuation. It is, to be honest. Yeah, it is a little bit of continuation.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
it's just
good.
about continually finding inspiration in things that bring us joy,
Yes.
and
So it's been
expressing that in the perfume. I think it's great. It's bringing me so much fulfillment to do that, to be able to do that, to do things that I love doing, and then to be able to express that and then share that with the world. It brings me, it brings me hope. It brings me something to look forward to. It fills my time. It fills my purpose as a human being, as a person. It keeps me out of trouble, right? It keeps me in line. It keeps me in
is it
line
one of is it one of those things that you spend time thinking about when you're doing other things?
all
Like
the
when
time,
you're at the
all the time.
yeah, when you're at work, when you're at the gym.
I find myself talking to myself all the time, like what I want, what I need. Like sometimes I feel like I'm delusional, but I'm like comfortably happy in my own delusion, separate from the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that's what you kind of got to do when you find your own way, is you really need to separate from everybody, like what everybody else is doing, and find your own path and know really what that is deep down inside.
Yes. That
Regardless of
is
what
definitely.
anybody else thinks or wonders or cares or believes or is saying, like that's the most important. That's where you find like true happiness, you know, true self fulfillment. It's just knowing.
Yeah.
It's that inner knowing.
Yeah, and something to focus on, something to look forward to, something to create, something to do, you know.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Carl, by the way. Um, I was just reminded that it is Carl's birthday today, and he
Yes.
is King Carl from Sweden.
He is a
Um,
big King Carl. Yes. For such
he's
a
a
young
beef,
guy. Happy birthday,
yeah,
Carl.
beefcake. Yes,
Shout outs to
beefcake.
Carl. Is Carl here?
He
Oh,
is
he is.
here.
He's right here.
He is.
Remember getting out of that womb. Thanks. Oh, probably our first traumatic experience. Welcome to life, coming out of the womb. There you go. Bright lights, screaming babies, I mean, you're the screaming baby, but you're the one crushing yourself at the same time. Nurses, all these strange people pulling you out of this dark, warm, gooey cave,
That's what bed is, isn't it? That's like the reincarnate. Every night we try to recreate that kind of place that we originated from. The old warm, safe, covered up,
The pit.
kind of protected from the world. Yes, our pit.
The pit.
The pit. The
Yeah,
Brad. The Do you have all your other Les Indemodables there?
I do. You want to talk about them?
Yes. I'll get mine out as well. Have you smelled the ow? Ow, I've just punched my fucking bureau. Why did I do that? I'm not going to get the colognes out though,
Okay.
because they are stashed away.
Have you tried have you tried Amouage is royal tobacco?
No, but I've heard you talking about it, and you absolutely rave about it.
I do, and I find, to be honest, I find Vanille Havane could oud more closer to Amouage's royal tobacco than I do to, let's say, Frederick Moll's the night. And I think it's
Okay.
the type of oud that, but I really, really, really like that royal tobacco as well.
Yes. Have you bought some?
That's a big, powerful perfume, but it doesn't have the softness of Vanille Havane. That is
No.
actually like very invasive, intrusive, very aggressive.
Yes.
But it has
So
these addictive qualities to it. It's crazy, it has oud and smoke and wood and leather and but it's super addictive. Honey. There's some sort of honey in there that just makes it so yummy.
yummy honey. Maybe I should try and do this. Or maybe I shouldn't try and do this. This is a disaster waiting to happen, by the way. What
That's
I
how I
am
would
doing.
line my Frederick Moll bottles up all the way to the ceiling.
So if I had right if I had the colognes, I'd be able to make an entire pyramid out of them, but I don't. I've
You
put
don't
Rose de Jamal at the
you
top, but not on purpose. But there I go. There I am having it. So I've got Rose de Jamal on the top. If I had my colognes, I'd be able to build a proper pyramid, but I
excellent.
can't.
Excellent.
But it's
What number is your Vanille Havane?
126, right? What I would have liked, right? If they've missed a trick here, because if they had sold me 123, I would have gone back to them and said, "Could I also have 456?"
Oh my god.
You know, so I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I would have been fucking delighted, right? It would
Yeah.
have been the best release ever if that happened. I would have been buzzing.
I saw Anton's Instagram stories, and he was teasing the crowd, saying that he has the number 1 out of 500. Yeah,
That's perfumer's rights,
yeah.
He's allowed to. I'm really getting like I'm really getting the vanilla from the original Vanille Havane now. Like I'm really getting the vanilla, whereas from the extrait, I'm getting a lot more chocolate, and from the oud, I'm getting like a smoky tobacco.
Mm. Did you say which was your preference of the 3?
Oh,
You can only keep 1.
possibly the extrait absolute. I think, as
Did you
far as the smell's concerned, probably the extra absolute. It's fucking amazing, the smell. I just wish it was sprayable. If that was in a bottle, but you should see it. Like you can't, I don't know if you can see this, but that does not flow as freely as, say, that. That's like
It
that's
looks more
liquid.
it looks viscous.
This is viscous. It is thick. It is thicker than a whale omelette. It is so thick, It's like, oh God, look at it. It's amazing. It really is. It's so chocolatey, but it's like a real chocolate, It's not It's
It's
not a
not a
fake.
synthetic. It's not a fake polyester chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't have that kind of polyester shitty smell. You
No,
know.
cotton chocolate.
Yes, we should do it. We should do a ranking our rank. We should do a top 10 Les and Demodables. Have you got 10 Les and
I
Demodables?
don't think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have 10.
We could do 8.
We can do 5. We can do 5
Okay.
easy.
We should do a stream. We should
We
do
can
a
do that.
stream one day and then we can do the. We've done the leather one. We can do. We've done the leather one. We can do a Les and Demodables one. We can do a.
Christian
There was
Dior.
another. Yes, the Christian Dior was another one. A patchouli one. We're going to do an amber one.
We can do a Frederick Mull one.
Yes, I've got quite a few Frederick Malls. We could do a top 5 Frederick Malls. A Dior. Well, we're going to do the Dior Privé. We could do just Dior. I'll tell you what I wore. Last week or the week before. A vintage Fahrenheit. This shit is amazing. The vintage one. You could put this in a Privé. If this was in a Privé bottle now, it would be the only one that's actually worth it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
You almost can't believe what they're putting out there on the market today, eh?
Like it's bad.
Designer fragrances.
Oh, it's so bad out there, man. It's so poor. I was in the department store today.
Zero personality, zero substance.
I was in the department store today, and I was mortified by what I was smelling. I was absolutely mortified. But I'll tell you something. I got my Brinda Reglisse today, right? And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible as a perfume. Have you got that one?
I do.
Right. So, is the leather on your cap different to the leathers that's on the rest of them? Is it more like a bobbly kind of leather?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not as suede-y. It's not as
yes.
It's not as soft.
Yes. Yes.
Like polyester.
Yeah, it feels like it's like yeah, you know, like the
like pleather.
Yeah, like styrofoam kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a rough texture to it. I got mine today, and honestly, that is such a good perfume. My God, it smells like Eau Noir without the Immortelle, without the coffee. You know, it's got that licorice lavender.
Yeah.
Sorry?
You say no coffee, but it still has this coffee texture.
Like a beanie kind of thing, or like a ground.
Like, a lot of dryness, hay, coumarin, but the dry stuff, dry lavender. You know, this is very scratchy. This is like nails lavender. But it has like some chocolate qualities. That's where the scratchiness has got chocolate in here.
It's got chocolate.
Yeah, Brenda's got chocolate.
I love the lavender in it. I think the lavender's gorgeous. I got mine for half price, half retail. Basically, I got like 100 quid off, and it's 220
really
quid.
As well, eh? It has this sticky properties.
Breaking up a little bit. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Do you not hear me?
Yeah. I just couldn't hear you for a second. That's all.
Do you get sticky qualities from Bryn?
Not so far, but I've only worn it once today. Like I tried it on my hand today. Performance is absolute dog shit, to be honest with you. I get like 2 hours out of it, which is really sad because it's.
But you got to be really aware of it. Like if I'm lying around doing nothing, I don't smell it. But as soon as I'm up and about and I get some kind of flow, I'll get like it comes back to life. I get wafts of it here and there, right? But
Yeah.
it's not heavy, it's not persistent, it's not pounding. It's very delicate.
Have you smelled the have you smelled the um cardamusk from the Hermes?
Yeah, I have.
What are them two like? There's two of them. What are they like?
It's been so long. I haven't smelled them since like the day of release, which has been God, it's been years. But
Oh,
I mean, they were
someone.
nice from what I remember. They weren't awful by any means.
I
I remember the price point on them was kind of outrageous. For 30 mils, they were charging. What was it?
yeah,
20 mil
hundreds.
size or 30 mil? It might have
I
been
think
even
that
10 mils.
they're very small. I know that because I was
They were
looking
foils.
at
They
them.
didn't even come with sprayers.
Do they not?
I don't think so.
Do they not really? Oh dear, oh dear. I imagine they're trying to do the whole thick thing, you know?
Yeah, they were very
Um,
thick and viscous too. Does that Vanille Havane extrait have a sprayer?
no, it's a roller. It's a roller.
They probably have to
Uh,
do that because it's so thick.
that's a good point, actually, now you
It,
mention it.
it would probably gum up the sprayer.
Yes. Yes. It's pretty thick. If you give me 2 seconds, I will be able to tell you how big they are because the lady I bought this from was selling something else. There it is. Cardamusk, rare, Hermes, 20 mils. 20 mils, RRP £346 for 20 mil.
How much?
£346. So you're talking probably about 700 Canadian. Around that kind of mark, six, 700 Canadian
That's the
for
reason I
20
didn't buy
mils.
it.
That is disgusting behavior, that.
Yeah.
That is absolutely outrageous behavior.
So those were released at the same time as 3 other Hermes scents. So in that time, they released 5 perfumes.
Were they recent? Were they recent
Those were the
releases?
very first of Christine Nigel's releases.
Let's have a
So it was
look
the
here.
Oud, the Agar Ben, Cedar Sambac, the Rose, the one, the Mur Eglantine, and then the Cardamusk, and whatever the other one's called. They were
It
all
was
released.
called Musk Palida, so that was an iris one.
Right. So it was 5 releases all at once. I mean, there's like $2,000 in perfume almost, in 5 releases. 6, 9. Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting behavior, that, like, I can't be dealing with that.
Capitalism, and the consumers want choice.
I mean, it's the illusion of choice, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, do you really have choice? To be fair to Hermes, they're only one of the only independently, privately owned brands that's not owned by one of these fucking corporation things that fucking seems to rule our lives now. You know,
Right.
like absolutely mental. Pradeep says he's only got 7.5 mil. How did that happen, Pradeep? How
Maybe
did that happen?
he used the other 12 mil.
Phew. I imagine he got a good deal on it, though. He refuses to pay retail for anything. But then he lives in France, the land of perfume. You know what I mean? He
I'm
lives
sure
in
he
literally
finds
the
lots
whole.
of it discounted in France.
He lives in the holy land of perfume. You know, nobody else stands a chance. I'm extremely jealous. It's probably the only reason that that you would have to go and live in
It's probably the
France.
best place to be, isn't
It is absolutely the best place to be for perfume. You know, it's like I mean, France is one of the only places that I would visit. You know, because it's right next to where I live, so I wouldn't have to worry if something like went wrong. Um, and they'd probably see us and think there is a big gruff Englishman. We know what he's going to be like, and they would start talking English to us. So I'd be all right with that as well. And then there's just perfume all within like a square mile. You know what I mean? There's like, you've got the major Guerlain boutique, you've got Chanel, you've got Dior, you've got Hermes, you've got the Osmotech, which I think is in Paris.
Sounds like
I
it would
would
be a great weekend to go visit.
I would like to do that, but I would definitely need like a chaperone. You know, I definitely need someone to like come and keep us on the straight. I was like
But at the
wandering
same
off. And,
time, I'm thinking, yeah, as great as it would be, would you really discover anything new? Because we've all smelled these things like 1,000 times before, right?
what do you know? What it is? Do you know what it is? Right? I would be more excited to go to Anuja's warehouse and just be let free, and just be let free to go into Anuja's warehouse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's where I would like, if I could find somewhere where they had all of the perfumes, you know, all of them, then I would go there. All of the vintage perfumes. Probably go to the Osmotech. I would enjoy that, you know. Sorry, I'm just putting these away now.
Maybe Anuj can do something. Maybe he can like sell tickets or something.
Do tours.
We can do a party or something.
Day tickets.
Yeah. Maybe we can
Day
have
tickets.
a dance or something there.
That'd be mint. Can you imagine? You could get like some weed. You could get some fucking. You get like a buffet. You get like get a buffet
and weed. What else do you need?
It would be fantastic. What have you got? Patchouli noisette.
No, I've got the sample.
What do you think of it? Is it not one that you're bothered about buying particularly?
Well, I haven't been buying a whole lot of things lately. Like my financial situation has changed a lot since I've bought stuff like with putting my kid through college and now child support and all that stuff. You know, it's getting, and the economy, it's getting really difficult to find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for these perfumes. Like considering I have 500 bottles already, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So
also the fact that you're making
them differently.
Yeah, you're making perfumes as well.
Yeah, I'm wearing stuff more now than just buying. You know, I'm trying to enjoy the things that I have.
Yes. I'm trying to. I'm trying to. You know, I'm definitely selling a lot more than I'm buying, and that is helping me be able to enjoy my perfumes more, because the ones that I'm selling are making way and opening up my path to the perfumes that I love. You know, like I wore that lid you gave us a couple of weeks ago. You know, like I got to wear that. Vintage Fahrenheit, I got to wear that.
Yeah.
Like with when you've got so many other perfumes competing, it's like you feel bad for not wearing them, you know?
Totally. Like you spend years crafting this collection, you know, and you don't really get to enjoy it because you're always chasing the next thing. So, you know, I've spent 10 years creating this collection, and now I'm going to spend some time just enjoying it.
Yes.
Like really, really enjoying it.
Yes.
That's what this phase is. But
so what did you think? What did you think of Patchouli Noisette?
What did I think? Let me get my sample.
Go.
I just had it here.
Where did it go?
What did you think of it?
I really liked it at first.
Right.
And then I really liked it at first, right? And then I went off it in a big way.
Right.
And then I'm now coming back to it, you know? Like I'm coming back round to it, but in like a different way. I'm appreciating it in a different way. There is a cypriol amberwood type thing in here that is a little bit painful to me. It smells a bit like it's got aspects of promise. You know?
Right.
And I wasn't expecting that, and I was a little disappointed. For the patchouli, I thought they would give, especially when it was combined with the noisette. I thought the noisette would be a lot more easily recognizable. It's much harder to find than.
I find it quite chocolatey though. Like I know what you mean. I find it's there. It's present. It's chocolatey, but it's very soft.
Oh, I get a really raw dryness from it.
It's quite incensey, isn't it?
It's giving that kind of. It's associated with incense perfumes because I think there's something in this that they use to make incense accords. You know, that dry like literally like someone with like short but sharp nails scratching down your vocal cords. That's like, it's very caustic. You know, I enjoy wearing it, strangely enough. It's very unusual. I don't think I would replace it.
Right.
I don't think I would replace it if I went through this and I was like, oh no, I've used my patchouli noisette. I don't think I would replace it. You know.
Is that the color of the bot? That's patchouli noisette there on your screen.
Yep. Yeah. That's patchouli noisette there. Yeah. Very light. It's the same color as
I would have pictured it darker.
the patchouli oil. Do you know how you got the oud oil from Antoine? And it's quite clear, right? The patchouli oil, the fractionated the patchouli oil as well, I believe, and it was clear. It was clear as glass. It was literally see through. No tint to it whatsoever. So that was quite a surprise to me. This was the first one I was a little, do I want to say disappointed in? Yeah, this was the first one where I wasn't utterly blown away. You know, I really enjoyed it actually. Especially the first few times I smelled it, I really, really liked it. And I was like, this is great. I love it. And then slowly, I was kind of like, this is kind of reminding me of something. What could it be? I was like, there's something about this. And then I had a conversation with Jura Rose, who was like, this has got cypriol or something in it, like nagamotha, that kind of dry, Middle Eastern kind of vibe. Yeah, and I was like, that's what it is. It's promise. It's got that same. Have you still got promise?
I do.
I sold my bottle of promise.
Promise is a big patchouli as well, but very dry. Very
God Almighty. So fucking potent. Probably the most potent fragrance I owned.
Really? You find this close to promise?
Not close to promise, no, but it's got that same dry, woody amber kind of scratchy, screechy, painful.
I don't like promise, to be honest.
No, I went right off promise. I loved it. I loved it for a while, you know. I thought it was great.
The apple in promise that bugs me.
See, I thought it was the apple that was probably the most tolerable part. Like,
but I'm not a fan of that. What is it, nagarmotha?
Yeah, that's like what the cypriol oil type of thing is. Yeah, it's nagamotha.
Yeah, I'm not
cypriol oil
either, and I find a lot of it in here. It's very strong.
Yeah, it's too much
perfume. You know? Yeah, it's just it is something really. It's an acquired taste, eh?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I can see people loving this, but this is like it's almost bitter, you know. What's that? You know what it's like? Like horseradish is an acquired taste, you know? When you try horseradish for the first time, it's biting and you're not sure what to think.
It's like pins on your tongue. You know,
Yeah,
it's like you've got a mouthful of pins.
yeah.
That's what horseradish is like. There's like certain types of mustard. You know, Carl Schall says that it's like promises like vinegar.
Almonds vinegar.
Yeah,
It is quite spiky and sharp.
taste the
Timbuktu,
biscuit.
Zonka all have hidden cypriol.
Crouching tiger, hidden cypriol.
Cypriol's tough.
It is. It gets me at the back of my nose, the back of my throat, kind of thing. Mitra K wants to know, what do we think of Patchouli Imperial? That's the Dior one. I think that's nice, but I don't think it should have been a Privé. It certainly shouldn't be Privé prices, because it's like it's
I never wear it, to be honest. I don't wear it.
yeah. I haven't worn mine for a
If
while, to
I'm
be
gonna
honest, either.
like grab that, I just rather wear Coromandel.
Yeah, yeah. I have got other patchoulis which I kind of go for. It's a bit it's basic, but I actually find it very easy to wear. But
Yeah.
the problem is it's a privé, which kind of makes you feel like it should be special.
I
You
like
know?
that what Pradeep says. I find a lot of those Dior's are pale imitations of Chanel's. I find Queer Canage is the same of Queer de Russie, pale imitation. I find
Outrageous,
Chili Imperial a pale imitation of Coromandel.
outrageous. Hold the fort, hold the fort. I'm going to go and dehydrate. Give us a couple of minutes.
Take your time, man. Get some salt while you're at it.
Oh,
Salt will help you hydrate, but it'll give you high blood pressure too. What is everybody wearing? What's everybody's scent of the day? Drop your scent of the day. Give the stream a lick if you are enjoying yourself. Give the stream a good lick. We got 33 licks, 68 in the house. It's good to see everybody. Packed house. The usual suspects are here. At 4:27 p.m., just outside of Toronto time, we have music for a while. Benji's in music for a while. Frederick Mull. We have Lilabo Gaiac 10, Green Irish Tweed, Hermes Equipage, Equipage Geranium, Zerjoff Richwood, Santa Maria Novella Melagrano, Mika Schumacher, Violette Volinka, Frederick Mull Musk Ravageur, Paprika Brazil. Wow, so many great scents. Hi, my scent of the day was The Moon by Frederick Mull. Hi, Kevin. Antaeus, Stacy is in Narcotic Delight. DLQ, Qualia is Vanille Havane. Coeur de Oud. There you go. That's the spirit. Turned on, tuned in, dropped out is in Get On Heritage. Tim Wilcox is in Patchouli Noir. Mitra K is in Tom Ford Shanghai Lily. Paroli says Equipage is popping off recently. Sentient Man, what is happening, Raj? Good to see you, brother. Raj is in vintage Givenchy Gentleman, classic patchouli for gentlemen like Raj. I love it. I can see Raj going to shoot pool or maybe throwing darts, some kind of classic English game in that Givenchy Gentleman. Maybe a cigar in his mouth. Raj? Sitting in a nice leather chair. Best smelling live chat. It is the best smelling live chat. Thanks to all of you. Where'd all you great smelling people come from? I was in. Well, I wore the same Vanille Havane Coeur d'Oud today. What did I wear yesterday? What did I wear yesterday? Huh. I don't remember. I'd have to go over to my show.
I am back.
Thomas is in Fleur Universale, La Ligue Noire Premiere 1900. Sandra says Shanghai Lily is amazing, but I often forget to wear it. Carl, the birthday boy, is in Parfum de Empire, un bel amour d'été.
Oh my god,
I
I love
love
Shanghai
Shanghai
Lily.
Lily and don't understand why it's so underrated. Shanghai Lily and Champaka, those are like old OG Tom Fords. Greetings from Niche. What's happening, Dushan? Dushan 4. Howdy, Tripler. And Bottega Veneta put home. Pat Lester's in nothing. Strangely enough, nothing. I can still smell Melt My Heart on my arm.
That's good stuff.
Yesterday was Orange Shirako for me. Bobby Dior is in Derby. Well, there you go. Richard.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Hello. I can hear you.
All right, thank God.
How's it going?
Oh, fine. How are you?
Good. Should we wrap
Happy
this? Should we
days.
slowly wrap this up?
Okay.
4:30. I gotta get going and start picking up my boys Friday evening. Boys are on their way. Prepare dinner and get ready for the evening.
Have a nice time. Have a nice dinner. What are you eating?
It'll probably be barbecue of some sort. Make a nice
Mm.
barbecue. Kids love
I had a
barbecue. They love
I had
protein.
a rack of ribs yesterday.
A rack of ribs.
Yeah.
Yesterday I had lamb, like a
Ooh.
lamb brisket. No, it was like a leg of lamb, a massive leg of lamb.
Big lamb.
Yeah, baked lamb leg with potatoes. Oh, with rosemary and all kind. Oh my god, so lamb is delicious and gamey and juicy.
That's outrageous.
I did not wear Boss Ball. Let me find what I wore yesterday. Give me a second.
Where's he gone?
I wore yesterday.
What did he do?
Yesterday.
For me, that was.
Oh, I wore. Duh. They really outrun more.
Yes, yes.
How do I not remember this? Look at the ducky.
He's on Patchouli Noisette, keeping an eye out.
Pat Lester expecting a 4-hour stream. I don't know how much more there is about Vanille Havane that we can possibly say, and we've gone completely off track now for the last 30 minutes. So it's probably a good time, But well, you know what? Let's come back next Friday. Let's make it a thing. I'm off Fridays. I got lots of time.
Okay, no problem.
We can do it a thing.
We can do the thing.
A theme for next week, or maybe somebody can down in the chat kind of recommend something that they'd like to see.
We could do a top 8 Les Indemodables.
Yeah, I don't.
Top
8,
top 5, top 8, top 7.
I mean, we spent a lot of time today talking about them, so I don't know. Maybe we can do something different.
Okay.
We
could do Patchoulis. We could do anything. Someone could come up with something completely different.
Okay.
Anything.
Sounds good.
Yes, yes, yes. Some Paroli says top 10 Dior Privé. I haven't got 10 Privés, Dior Privés. I haven't got any Celine's either, Mitra. Although I do have the sample set. Anyway, they're all the same.
Do you have 10 Chanels?
10 Chanel? No.
You have 10 Frederic Malls?
No.
We can do 5s. That's fine too.
I've got 5 Tower. I've got 10 Hermes Essence.
Okay, I've got 10 too.
We could do top 10 Hermes, not necessarily Hermes Essence.
Okay.
We could tie in like a Bellamy and a Tour de Hermes and stuff like that.
All right. Yeah, that would make it interesting. We can just top 10 Hermes.
Yes, yes, yes. Serge Luton as well. Surgery Tom would do well. That top 10 leather video, that stream we did, that's like, I looked on your channel, that's got like 25,000 views. It's like,
Really?
people love that. People are
Wow.
all over it.
I
Top 10
haven't
leathers.
noticed.
Yeah, I was looking at your most watched live streams, and that was it.
I'm gonna have a quick look right now. It's my most viewed live stream ever. 21,000 views.
That's 21. I thought it was 25. It's 21. That'll do.
1 year ago. It was 1 year ago.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow. It's like the next most highest viewed live stream was 6,000 views. So it's like
Crazy.
tripled.
Absolutely mental. It's got 240.
God, these are so old. Impulse perfume buying with Christo.
And then you've got
the ghost.
Yeah, they gave
5,000 views.
Yes, that was a good video.
That was exciting. Gabe really opened up and gave a lot of information that night. I mean, we had a packed. I was like, I think 150 viewers at one point, and we just sat back and listened to Gabe kind of spew it all out, eh?
Yes. Yeah, it was great. He was a proper talker.
Oh yeah, he was born for that. He was born for his life.
Yes. Yes. So it was an interesting watch.
He can hold an audience too. Quite compelling.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for doing this, Rich. It was good seeing you. It's good seeing everybody in the comments and the chat. I hope you guys had a great time. Like the stream before you leave, and hope you have a great time wherever you are in the world. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your perfume, and enjoy your people. Richard,
Eugene,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you very soon.
You shall. Goodbye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.